Good morning, guys and gals, and hello, my friends. This is your host, Joe, Life with Yosef, and I thought I'd do a little odds and ends catch up update type of vlog. So I took some notes, and we're going to get to that now. First off, I got my water softener up and installed, and I got the salt in. The last time I had groceries brought out, I had them bring me 80 pounds of salt, and it's in there, and so there you go. So I had in Stockton, I should have had this and I didn't, and I had way too much time spent trying to scrub hard water off of everything when I should have just not had so much hubris. Hubris is, I've paid for my personal hubris more than once. Last year when I met my Hanai Vin, he presented me with a Polynesian fish hook, which is incredibly important to him and to me too. So I had to replace it. I've talked about this, but here's the one that I got. I think it's going to be a little bit more durable. I'm really hard on my stuff. So then when you see this, I have the one you gave me in my carry bag, but this is the one I'm going to wear. It's symbolic from you. You get it, I hope. But anyway, I like the fish hook, and it's going to be a little bit more durable. So I had to go kind of round and around little with the shipper, but the shipper resent it from Hawaii. I got it. All is good. I had to refilm this part because I'm an idiot. 2 or 3 weekends ago, Charlie and OG met me up at Davis at camp, then came out to camp. So here's their camp, and then here we are having dinner on Friday. We ate Friday night. We ate Saturday morning. I went home to lie down like I always have to. They rode their bicycles across Davis Dam and such. They had a really good time. We ate Saturday night. Sunday it got really windy and the wind does blow out here, so they packed up and we met and ate and they drove home. It was a really good visit. Now on the way out there on the Friday, right as I'm driving past where the three of us, Charlie, OG, and I, scattered the dish and the boy, the Allman Brothers song Melissa was on, and literally the lyric, will he lie beneath the clay? Will his spirit know the way? Came on, and bloody, I had to use dude to mop up a little bit of my of the watery eyes. So don't think for a second that 10 months later, after my wife's passing, this is getting a whole lot easier. But you get up every morning, you pick up your feet, and you get to it. God love dude. He's definitely a joy to have. He's my buddy. So I'm of the vintage where the ad, oh, I fall and then I can't get up. Life alert. Well, I have one. I live by myself. If I have a problem, there ain't no one gonna find me. I've had two family members where one, the mail started backing up in the box. He lived kind of rurally, and they had to call the sheriffs at the Monterey County Sheriff's out, and well, 2 weeks after death is an unpleasant experience for people who have to respond. And then I had another family member who was found like this. I don't think quite as bad, but it's just no. I'm not going to have them find me like this. If I fall, I have help. I tested it, it works. I also have a mobile one. This one's tied into the base unit, but I have the mobile accessory one that has GPS and will at least some hope in hell if I'm in a hotel or something. I talked about this on one of the rides on Jolene. I took a tumble out of the bath and or the shower, and it's like, yeah, damn, dude. Although this one does not have a fall sensor, and they were telling me that they get so many false false alarms that they just don't offer it anymore. So It was $250 for the kit. The monitoring's $90 a month. I paid 12 months up front and got a month off. You know, I live by myself and there ain't nobody coming by. I think it's a wise choice. So those of you who live by yourself and have nobody to check on you, maybe something you may want to consider. Turns out I'm still hassling with Allstate to get the claim paid. I didn't have my primary debit card handy, so I had my backup one that I gave to them, so they could just EFT me the payment. And I checked it, and they hadn't done it. So it turns out now they're telling me, oh well, we need even more documentation. So I sent them every bit of documentation that I had. I have a picture of the repaired mirror, and I had already said, you know, do I need to subrogate this? And they basically said, yeah, go right ahead. So I'm gonna let this go another week, mainly because I'm gonna be out of town, and I'll talk about this in the next shot. But I sent them everything, and then they're just in a different email thread, I got yet another, oh, you know, we need more documentation. And I replied in two different places, the long email thread, and back to them, I basically said, I have provided you everything you've asked so far. Please articulate the specific documentation you further need to verify a claim that you have already accepted financial responsibility for. I said, how much more do I have to provide? Now, I didn't tell him I'm gonna notify the policyholder directly, but I'm not sure. I expect my money, but if they're gonna hardball this, you know, I have two choices. I could either again subrogate this through my insurance agency. I'll stick Flo and the Dogs of War on them, or I'll reach out to the guy. I'll send him a registered demand letter with a note that says, will you please have your insurance pay this? He's not off the hook. And so, you know, if you have minimum coverage, let's say you got, you know, hell, in California, I think it was $35,000, and you do $100,000 worth of damage. If your policy doesn't cover that, you're not off the hook. You're going to have to come up with a judgment. So I don't want to have to do all this. I just want my money. It's $1,049. I think they've spent so much in labor hours. But you know, insurance, you know, they're the type of business where they make more money when they don't provide the service, excuse me, that they're in business for. Shameful. Allstate, you suck. My realtor, Sierra, from Black Mountain Realty, they're having some type of open house on the 12th. And I thought, well, hell, that'll get me out. It's a Saturday. It gets me out of the house. I go down to the Desert Barn and do the spring drive that I've been talking about. But I looked at the calendar, and that's Easter, one of the Easter weeks. And I thought, you know, I don't want to deal with spring break anywhere. So I made reservations for this weekend down in Parker, and I'm gonna go to a Desert Bar on Saturday. So I'm dropping Dude off at the Doggy Motel Friday at Risen Star. I'm gonna drive to Parker. Saturday I'm gonna go to a Desert Bar. And then Sunday, I'm going to go out to 29 Palms. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to go to Barstow because there's some filming that I want to do out there. And if I try to do it on the way home, I run out of steam. So, and then I'm going to, almost sure I'm heading home Thursday. So, I got that planned. I think that's about it. So, this is, as always, your host, Joe, Life with Yosef, a little update. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. We'll see you for the next one. And may Freya show you favor on the hunt.